Welcome to Magical Tales with Shazia, a world where every story comes alive. Step inside and let the magic begin. Far beyond the ordinary world lies Enchantia, a kingdom of crystal palaces and golden light, where flowers bloom in every color and the lake shimmers like stars. This is where our story begins. Luna walked softly through the garden. She touched each flower gently and smiled. The petals glowed wherever her fingers passed. She was happy in her quiet, magical world. Ella moved gracefully through the grand palace hall. Her silver gown shimmered with every step. She glanced down at her new shoes and laughed softly. Even a princess loves a perfect pair of shoes. Zara twirled in the open garden. Her long golden hair lifted and fanned out like wings. Petals swirled around her in the breeze. She laughed freely, and the whole garden felt her joy. Nora sat quietly on her favorite swing. The evening light was soft and warm. She closed her eyes and breathed slowly. Some moments are too beautiful to rush. Layla ran through the meadow, full of energy. She chased every glowing butterfly she saw. Her yellow gown bounced behind her as she laughed. She never planned to catch them. She just loved the chase. Marina sat by the lake and dipped her fingers into the water. The fish swam up to greet her like old friends. She smiled and whispered softly to them. The lake always listened. Sophia was lost in her books as always. Every page brought her a new world. In the kitchen nearby, Romy was lost in her own way. For her, every dish was its own kind of story. A tiny squirrel leaped straight into Zara's hair and got completely stuck. Zara froze with the funniest expression on her face. Layla burst into laughter. Luna covered her smile. Even the squirrel looked quite pleased with itself. Salaar lay in his room with a storybook open on his chest. His eyes were full of wonder. He imagined crystal palaces and magical worlds. He smiled and thought to himself, what if I could actually go there? Salaar walked into Professor Zuffer's magical laboratory. Potions bubbled, and gears floated all around. The professor pointed toward a large glowing machine. Salaar took one look and said with a grin, I hope this is a journey and not an explosion. Salaar pressed the button. A burst of blue light filled the room. Golden sparkles swirled around him. The world shifted in an instant, and just like that he was no longer home. Salaar stood in the middle of Enchantia and could not believe his eyes. Crystal palaces, glowing flowers, and 8 princesses looking right at him. Luna stepped forward and asked, how did you get here? Salaar smiled and said, a stubborn dream brought me. Salaar reached into his bag and pulled out a shining golden box. He opened it slowly. A soft golden light poured out. The princesses leaned in with wide, curious eyes. Each gift inside was chosen just for them. Salaar held up a set of sparkling hairpins and smiled. These were made for hair like yours. Zara laughed and took them in her hands. Now, even the squirrel will be jealous, she said. Salaar presented Ella with a pair of glowing, comfortable sandals. Ella's eyes lit up instantly. She held them with both hands, as if they were something precious. Finally, she said, shoes that actually feel good. Salaar gently placed a soft lavender shawl around Nora's shoulders. It shimmered like starlight. Nora touched it softly and smiled. It feels like the evening, she said quietly. And that is my favorite time. Salaar pulled back the cover from a long magical table. Burgers, pizzas, cupcakes, chocolates, ice creams, and sparkling drinks filled every corner. The princesses stared in complete silence for a moment. Then all 8 of them leaned in at once. Luna picked up a rainbow cupcake and studied it from every angle. It looks like someone painted it, she said. Salaar laughed. You are supposed to eat it. Luna took one small bite. Her eyes went wide. Then she took another. Zara held the chocolate and slowly looked at her own long golden hair. A worried expression crossed her face. In the background, the squirrel was already watching. Salaar saw it and laughed until his sides hurt. Sophia held the rainbow ice cream up to the light and examined it like a rare painting. The colors shifted and glowed softly. She adjusted her glasses and nodded slowly. This, she said, is genuinely impressive. Marina held the bubble drink with both hands and watched the glowing bubbles rise inside. One popped near her face, and she blinked with delight. Salaar smiled. He had a feeling she would love this one most. Romy moved quickly from one dish to the next with a tiny notebook in her hand. She sniffed. She tasted. She wrote. Salaar watched her and smiled. She was not just trying the food. She was already planning to make it better. Salaar looked at Zara and said simply, "Your hair makes this whole garden feel complete." Zara laughed and shook her head. "You are very confident," she said. He smiled back. "Because the truth is easy to say." They stood on the palace rooftop as the sky turned gold and pink. Salaar looked at Ella and said, "Your smile is brighter than all of this." Ella turned away softly, with a small shy smile. "You have magic in your words," she said. They walked slowly together along the glowing garden path. Salaar said gently, "Wherever you go, you bring peace with you." Luna looked up at him with a warm smile. Hearing that she said made me feel something very good. Layla was mid-run through the meadow when Salaar called out, "Your energy makes every tired feeling disappear." Layla stopped and burst out laughing. She gave him a dramatic eye roll. "You go too far," she said, still laughing. They sat quietly by the glowing lake as the stars appeared above. Salaar said softly, "Your eyes have the same depth as this water." Marina smiled and looked at him. "And you," she said, "bring waves into every word you speak." They sat across from each other in the quiet, enchanted library. Salaar said, "Your wisdom is something that truly touches the heart." Sophia adjusted her glasses with a pleased look. "And you," she said, "know how to appreciate a thinking mind." Salaar watched Romy work and said warmly, "Your effort and your passion are both worth admiring." Romy turned from the stove with a bright laugh. "You make every compliment taste sweet," she said. The princesses gathered quietly in the corner of the palace hall. They whispered. They giggled. They nodded together. A decision had been made. Salaar stood nearby, still smiling, completely unaware of what was coming. The princess stepped forward and announced it clearly. "You're not going back." Salaar's smile froze. Then his eyes went wide. Then both hands flew into the air. "No, no, no," he said. "I only came to visit." This was never the plan. Salaar took a breath and reached out his hand. His girlfriend stepped in beside him quietly and warmly. He looked at the princesses and said honestly, "This is the one I love." Everything else was friendship and beautiful memories. The princesses smiled and stepped aside. They waved with full hearts and bright eyes. Some held flowers. Some waved with both hands. Salaar and his girlfriend walked toward the glowing golden portal together, and Enchantia cheered them on. At the edge of the portal, Salaar paused. He turned back one final time. Crystal palaces glowing. Flowers swaying. 8 smiling princesses waving in the distance. He took it all in slowly. Then he smiled and turned forward again. They stepped through the portal and the golden light faded behind them. They were home. Both of them laughed at the same moment, without even planning to. Salaar looked at her and thought, "This is the only story I ever needed." Thank you for watching Magical Tales with Shazia. If this story made you smile, then subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Your name could be in the next story. See you in the next magical tale.